Once Charlie told me he wanted some sunglasses. I told him to send me which sunglasses he wanted, what did they look like, in the mail. I got the mail and it was a comic strip. A comic strip of Doonesbury with Hunter Thompson with these cool looking sunglasses in the comic strip, and he had an arrow pointed to those. He wanted those. Do you think the idea of the amusement park Disneyland was all Walt Disney's idea? Did you know that one of the members of the Manson family was roommates with one of the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz? Did you know that Quentin Tarantino built the Spahn Ranch not on where the old Spahn Ranch was, but on another location where there was another movie set? And did you know Manson was on both locations? Have you ever went to do something and fell down a rabbit hole, ended up doing something completely different than what you was planning on? Yeah, me too. And that's what this is all about today. All those things have something in common with what we're going to talk about today here, Michael's back porch. Thanks for coming back. It was a Saturday morning. We were going to meet an author. It was me and my friend Izzy. I asked Izzy to come along. And if you don't know, you can find him at Ranger Izzy on YouTube. He's got plenty of videos. And a lot of them are about Spahn Ranch. I asked him, hey, come along. There's some people going to be at Spahn Ranch. One of them was an author, and he was looking to do a film about his book, and he wanted me to show him some spots. So come along, film some things, and see what happens. When we get there, it was different than anything I've ever, again, we fell into a rabbit hole that I wasn't expecting, but it was a good one. Sometimes you fall into good rabbit holes, sometimes they're bad rabbit. This was a good one. We show up, and he has a film crew with him, and the film crew are, probably when I was a kid, we would call them disabled people. You know, there was a guy that couldn't hear, there was a guy that couldn't talk, there was a guy that was a shorter guy. Just disabilities. They had plenty of disabilities, but I'm telling you what, these people had no disabilities whatsoever. They had all the abilities in the world, and it was the greatest time that I ever had. And I'll give you a link where you can check out, you know, more about who these people are and what they were doing. It was this film crew with this author, and he brought an actress along with him, and I was like more than excited. When you're talking to the people in the film crew, sometimes you would have to talk to an interpreter, and then that interpreter would talk to the guy that was asking you the question, but it was just so great. It warmed my heart that day. Anyway, we're on this little tour about these people that are making this film about Shorty Shea, and realized that, man, these people are famous. They're more part of Hollywood history than what I came to talk about, and I was more than overjoyed to listen to some of their stories. And I'm going to let you listen to some of their stories today here too. Thanks to Izzy, who was filming it while I was actually talking to these people. First people I started to talk to when I got there was a guy by the name of Michael Gogin. Had no idea who he was. He stood out because he was about this tall to me. But that was the only reason that I even noticed him. I had no idea who he was until he started talking. And I was like, I know who this dude is. Dude, you're that dude in that movie about Hunter Thompson. You were the waiter, right? Yeah, I knew it. But not only that, he was once an Oompa Loompa. And I think it was called The Greatest Show Ever or something. I can't remember what he said. And he was also in Critters. Damn. I can't believe it. So I was really excited talking to Michael. And then we move on to Elaine Dupont. It's like, wait a minute. Now I'm over here to tell you guys stories about, because we were going to two different places. We were at Spahn Ranch, and then we were going up to a place in Corriganville. Corriganville is another movie set. It's right up the street from Spahn Ranch, and there was a lot of association between the two back in the day. Spahn Ranch and Corriganville worked closely together. George Spahn would rent equipment, and Corriganville put on shows like Disneyland would do. You know, with all kinds of. Let Elaine tell us
That's
about
part
it.
of the movie. We did the reenactments of the Old West on weekends. How gun will travel. Gunfight at the OK Corral.
Like they used to do at Universal Studios.
Yeah. No, they wanted. In fact, they wanted to buy the ranch, and they said, "Oh, it's too far out." Universal wanted to buy it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But they stopped doing that. Knott's Berry Farm did it too, but not as big as we did. Because we had them on tapes and you could hear the music and whatever. Now why was it
So how many people came here on the average weekend?
20,000?
Oh, that many?
Oh,
The
yeah.
gate with wagon wheels on it. So the gate with wagon wheels on it. Do you remember that?
No. I said that gate. Wait a minute. Yeah, I said that gate looks familiar. Because I thought that blocked off in a different place. Oh. This is sad for me.
Why?
It's so alive and now it's gone.
Oh my god, look at these.
Well, that's why it's so great for people like us.
Let's hear about it.
Makes the lives
You were never here when it was big, huh?
well,
Oh, yeah, that's the gate. That's the gate.
everything
Yeah,
there.
remember. Crash built it. He was in. What is it? Why is it on the other side of the road? I mean, of the. I think.
Oh, there's Smith Road right there.
Yeah, but that was our gate.
That's it?
No wonder the other one didn't.
She knows a lot about this place because once she owned this place. She was the owner of this place. And not only was she the owner of the place, she was also credited in like 25 different parts and 25 different films.
Yeah. This one will kill you.
You got a monster in the turd.
Yeah. The Beach Girls and the
She
Monster.
was in Jailhouse Rock with Elvis. Yeah, and then she was in a bunch of campy horror films. She was also in I Was a Teenage Werewolf, Michael Landon. But hell, that wasn't the only time she ever met Michael Landon, because this place that she owned, Michael Landon worked there every day on Bonanza. Just amazing the history that we just walked into.
That's it?
No wonder the other one didn't look familiar.
Well, that's, and the house was right over there, so.
Yeah.
This
And
is where they would come in, this is where they would have come in, Michael.
Now,
Early on,
this-
before Crash bought property on Los Angeles Avenue, then they put in a big opening.
Oh,
gate
yeah.
right there.
In fact, I have a picture. This was still part of our
Los
ranch.
Angeles Avenue would be,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yes.
where Smith, yeah, he bought another parcel of land so he could get frontage on Los Angeles Avenue.
Right.
But originally, Crash's house was right there, and
And that was
when he moved off,
1953 when he bought that moved property.
yeah, because they had just done the front gate when my dad got the job. And when we moved to Crash's house, I'd walk out this way
Yeah.
to go to school. I'd take the walk up Smith Avenue and grab the bus.
He built this.
So it's
I know
amazing.
why
What,
it didn't
70 years,
And it's
and
still up.
this is all that's left right here.
You built it
Why
next,
did they
is there a
close
tree?
it off? And you know what? We own that part too. But why did they fence it off? Well, they cut it up is what they did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know this was pretty close to the end of it.
Yeah.
But then, see, Michael, where that road is back there,
Yeah.
that went up and around, and Silvertown
Was
ran
down below.
this direction.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
we
could
had to
look
take
down
the
on
up-
Silvertown.
But that's where Vendetta Village was, up on that road.
Yeah, and then a
And
little
then
bit
Fort
further
Apache.
up was Fort Apache.
Fort
where they
Apache, all the
filmed,
the
You
movie
guys
was made
lived in
there.
an amusement park.
We did.
It was.
That's how I
Yeah.
described it. It was at the time. It was the
And then
Western
I-
version of Disneyland.
That's where it still had the sets of like Bonanza and all those things,
All
right?
of them were made here, and
Wow.
also all the Rin Tin Tin, the Adventures of Rin Tin
Right,
Tin.
Tintin, yeah.
Yeah, I played
The-
Lolamai, the Indian girl in it.
Oh,
I was
wow.
friends with Lee Akers, who was
The Acres. Yeah.
played Rusty on it. We go riding around when he
I'm
wasn't
on
filming.
Facebook with him.
So I talked to him. He lives down in Mammoth, around
Oh,
that
really?
area,
Yeah.
and he
But
still
see, that's all
he helps
familiar to me.
handicapped kids with skiing,
Oh,
teaching them how to ski.
yeah.
Yeah, he was the ranch manager. Yeah, took care of And if the sets,
So I guess this was the jail.
they didn't have.
Yeah, this was the jail.
Okay. What you're saying
But
would be
this
like
shot
alive
is in so many
reenactment.
westerns, I can't begin
They
to
had
tell you
some men and they
that
do
the blocks.
action.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with all those, the trees were up then. Now they're all, the big ones are all down from the fire. But this was in a lot of westerns.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you name it. They,
That water reservoir back there, do you know anything about
don't
that?
remember that. No, because that wouldn't have been good for the.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
it wouldn't have been good for to photograph.
Right, or
No.
was it blocked off by a tree, some
Could
sort
have
of
been,
production?
because we had our own fire department,
Yeah.
and we had the water, because you had to dig wells and all
Right.
that stuff. It could have been, but and you don't look up there. You're,
Right, exactly.
You're riding down the street, and this was the middle of the Western Street.
Wow.
But the barn, now I bet you Tarantino did that because that looks kind of new. You know, the rock.
Right, it looks more
'Cause
fresh.
In a movie, I think in a movie magazine, it said that he rebuilt the barns, and that was the barns. And right across from it was a big sound stage where we did a lot of shows. I
Okay.
have pictures of us doing shows with all the big kid show operators. Sheriff John, let's see, who else? Jimmy Weldon with Webster Webfoot. I can go on and on. Bozo the Clown,
Okay.
Chuckle the Clown. Every kid show was on our. I mean, the lead for it was on our. Was coming out here to the ranch. Yeah.
So if you ever get an opportunity to visit Corriganville, it's still located in Simi Valley, right at the edge of Simi Valley, right off of Santa Susana Pass Road. And it's where they had the set for Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's where Spahn Ranch was located. And the week before, 2 weeks before, we met up with this film crew. Me and Izzy, we also explored the Spahn Ranch part of it. It was under heavy security though, so it was really tough to get. I don't know if you've ever broken onto a movie set before to walk around, but Izzy actually, he went back the next day and he went into the buildings, and he eventually got caught. I think he had that on his YouTube channel too, you know, where he broke into the buildings. I don't know, check it out. But he did. He went right in. I don't know if you've ever gone onto a movie set, but it's pretty tough. They have security everywhere, and they'll eventually throw you off or call the cops. So you gotta make sure you don't make them mad. And first off, I took a selfie up by right beside George Spahn's house. So from beside George Spahn's house, looking down, you can see the Spahn Ranch. And then from there, they had all sorts of things. They had buildings and buses and cars and barns, and it was kind of surreal being there. It was almost like being at Spahn Ranch. And of course I got souvenirs from the place. I went there twice when Tarantino's set was there. Oh, the last time they were tearing it down. And this is a piece of the set. Pretty damn cool, huh? This is a piece of the concrete from the jailhouse where they said they met Manson at. So I'm holding a piece of Hollywood history. Once upon a time in Hollywood, this was a piece of wood. And yes, Ed and Elaine both said they met Manson when Manson was hanging out at Spahn Ranch. She said Manson would come over and bring the girls over because they had a snack bar there, and they sold cheap sloppy joes and cheap cups of coffee and water, and I think that's what she said. I think she might even said roast beef sandwiches, I'm not sure. But they used to come over and they used to buy those and eat those. So that was another place the Manson family used to eat over at Corriganville. But I know that Lynette one time told me in a letter that George used to go over to Corriganville all the time to rent him horses and equipment and props, and she used to spend a lot of time with George, and she used to go to Corriganville too. So Lynette might have even known Crash Corrigan. She might have even known Elaine. Who knows? Until next time, though, thanks for hanging out on the back porch. We'll see ya.